Hey guys, welcome to this review for the Donner DEP-20 digital piano. In this video I'm going to tell you everything this piano has to offer and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. First off, the most important thing, this piano has 88 fully weighted keys, which means that every key has a weight to it, so it feels like a real piano. If you get the DEP-20 with the stand, you get all three pedals, the soft pedal, sostenuto pedal, and most importantly the sustain pedal. If you get the one without the stand, you can still connect an external sustain pedal to it. The DEP-20 without the stand comes with an external sustain pedal, so you don't have to worry about that. The keys also have a dynamic range, which means that the harder you hit the key, the louder the note gets. That's also very important to get the feel of a real piano. It has two 25-watt speakers, which is more than enough to get a very loud sound. It also comes with a note stand, which is of course very handy if you want to play by notes or if you just want to put a tablet on there. Sadly, it doesn't come with a cover for the keys, so if you don't want it to be covered in dust, maybe just put a blanket or something over there, or just dust it off occasionally. Most of the piano is made out of plastic, the pedals are made of metal, but it still looks pretty good. If you buy the version without the stand, it weighs about 11.5 kilograms. With the stand, it weighs about 25 kilograms, so it's very lightweight and you can easily carry it around. Now let's have a look at the connections on the back of the piano. What I find very good is that you have a USB connection on the back of the piano, so you can connect it to your PC and then record MIDI files. If you want to produce music, you can use these MIDI files with a plugin to create a very good sound. A USB-B cable, which you will need to connect this piano to the PC, is not included though. You can also connect a USB stick on the back of the piano and play MP3 songs. You can play and pause them, skip to the next song, and increase and decrease the volume of the song. And also listen to them on your headphones and also play along while listening to them. That's very handy if you want to learn songs by ear, so you'll listen to them and play at the same time. It also has an audio in and audio out port, so you can connect external speakers to the piano to make it sound even better or even louder. And you can also connect an outer source to the piano to play sound on the piano speakers. It also has two headphone connections, so you can connect your headphones and play quietly, or connect two headphones and maybe teach somebody at the same time as well. The piano also has a polyphony of 128, which means that you can play 128 sounds at the same time. When you play a new sound, then the first one gets cut off, but you have only 88 keys, so if you just play normal piano songs, it doesn't really matter, it's more than enough. It only matters if you play multiple voices at the same time, and then also a lot of keys. So 128 is plenty. Alright, now let's get to all the buttons, all the features that this piano has to offer. First off, you got a volume fader on the left side, works perfectly fine. Next to that, there are the MP3 controls, which I explained earlier in the video. Now we get to the voices of this piano. There's the grand piano, you get it by just double clicking the voices button, and then there's 238 other voices, so there's plenty of voices you can experiment with. I personally really like the e-piano sound of this piano. The only problem is that you can only scroll through all these voices. You cannot just select a voice by number because there's no keypad or something to type in numbers. So if you want to get to a specific voice quickly, that's not that easy. Then there's a rhythm button where you can have some drums play in the background. You can just start them by pressing the start and stop button, or you can press the sync button, so the drums start at the same time that you start to play the piano. There's 200 different rhythms, so if you like some drums in the background, there's plenty to choose from. And of course you can also set the tempo of this rhythm. Next up, there's the two transpose buttons. Those are used to move the notes on the keys up and down. You can move them up to 1 octave lower or 1 octave higher. Next up, there's 100 different demos on this piano, which you can listen to and just pretend that you're very good at the piano, of course. Because what else would you do with demos on a piano? Next to the demos button, there's the chords button, which you can use together with the rhythms. So you have some drums playing in the background, and then you can hit 1 or 2 notes with your left hand on the left-hand side of the piano, and the piano automatically starts to form a chord with these notes and play them, and then you can play along with your right hand. Next to it, there's the touch button where you can adjust how the piano reacts to the way you press the keys. There's 4 different settings. You can turn it off completely so that every note sounds the same no matter how hard you play it, or you can make it very sensitive, so you only have to press it very lightly and there's already a loud sound. Then there's the effect button, which is basically just reverb. So you turn it on and then the sound sounds a little more echoey, like you're in a big room or a hall. Then there's the split function, which I find to be very interesting, especially when you're a teacher. You can just split the keyboard in half, and then the lower part of the piano and the upper part of the piano are playing the same notes. So when you sit on the piano on the left hand and right hand side, you can play the same things, which is very good to teach somebody if you just have one piano. Then there's the tempo button, where you can adjust the speed of the drums that you can put on in the background, or adjust the tempo of the metronome that you can also activate. Double voice is also a very cool feature, where you can have two voices at the same time on your keys and play, for example, the piano with strings in the background at the same time. You can combine all of the 238 voices that are available on this piano, so you can create some very cool new sounds. Sadly, you also have to scroll through all the voices to get to the one that you want, so it's good for recording, but bad for live playing. There's also a button for drums, where you can put this in as a voice. I don't really know why they made this a whole button. You can just have it as a voice, but you got a button for it. Next to that, there's the metronome, which is of course very important if you want to learn to play songs in the right tempo. But I find this metronome to be a little annoying. The sound is not that good, and you cannot adjust the volume. You can of course adjust the tempo of the metronome, but you can't adjust the volume, so it gets very annoying very quickly, and I would rather recommend that you get another metronome with this piano. And then there's a record and replay button, so you can record whatever you're playing on the piano and then listen back to it, and then also play along with whatever you're listening to. Okay, now let's get to my impressions of this piano. So first off, I gotta say it's a very good piano for this price. I found the sound to be a little bad on the lower notes, especially when you decrease the volume. When you increase the volume, they all sound pretty good. If you decrease it, only the middle and high notes sound good, but the lower notes sound a little cheap. But still, for this price, it sounds very good. If you want to get better sound, you probably have to invest a lot more money. So if you don't want to invest a lot of money, this is a very good sound for a beginner's piano, of course. What I found to be more important than the sound is the feel of the piano anyways. So the way that the keys are weighted and the dynamic range of the keys and the pedals, that's very important to learn the piano. It's a beginner piano, so you're probably gonna switch to another one anyways. And to learn to play the piano, this is a very good starter because it's cheap, it sounds decent, and it has all the features that you need to get used to the feel of a piano. And then you can still switch to a real one or a better one. This piano also comes with a 3-year warranty and a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like it, you can just send it back. And if something breaks, you still have 3 years of warranty. So I would definitely recommend this to any beginner that wants to start with the piano. I find this piano to be very good because it's cheap, it sounds decent, and it's a way better choice than getting a keyboard without weighted keys or without dynamic range. It's way harder to get used to the feel of a real piano without having these features. Alright, so if you want to get this piano or any other product on the Donner website, you can use the code MICHAELM to get 10 to 15% off of all products on this website. I put this code and the links to this piano in the description of this video. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.